Hello everybody, my name is Daulton Nelson, and today I'd like to give my thoughts on a game that I've played enough of, that game being Marbly for iOS. Marbly is a puzzle game created by Alexey Pajitnov, creator of Tetris, Tetrisphere, Hatris, Hexic, and many other popular puzzle titles. I honestly really respect him, and I love a lot of the games that I've played from him, so I thought I'd give this one a try. However, the selling point for Marbly about Alexey Pajitnov being the creator of this game is false. According to some research, he did do the original concept and design for this game. However, the game was actually developed by a man named Andrei Novikov. And so I thought that bit of advertising was a little bit misleading, especially since this game doesn't have quite the addictive qualities or the unique qualities that an Alexey Pajitnov game usually does have. But I can see why publisher Wildsnake Software used this advertising technique. It gets more people interested in the game and playing it more, which happened to me. So either way, it doesn't matter who created this game, I'm going to give it its fair shake anyway. Now before we get into this thoughts video, I just thought I'd let you know that this is the first iOS game I've ever played. Seriously. I normally don't play games on my phone, so this was a first for me. So please excuse any ignorance towards that aspect of this game. So starting with the look of Marbly, all the assets in the game looked very plain. It was mostly just kind of simple colors and shapes, which I can understand, given what the audience might be for this game, but it also doesn't make the game stand out at all either. The boards in this game, which we'll talk about later, where you play on, they reminded me of the game Go, the board game, especially with the plain, kind of circular, simple colored marbles before I changed their skin, which is another thing I didn't really like about this game. By default, the marbles will be these plain colored circles. And so what you have to do in order to get them to look better and more unique is you have to go into the settings and change them to look like actual marbles, because otherwise they just kind of look like colored circles. I did not like the sounds in Marbly at all. The sound effects were awful. They sounded like standard assets. A lot of them sound like they came straight from like a downloadable library or a website. I'm pretty sure I might have heard these sound effects before playing games on like King.com. So that was really distracting. There's also one music track in this game that is turned off by default, which I recommend that you just keep it that way because this music track just comes off as annoying and repetitive. It's this kind of very lighthearted jingle loop that doesn't really gel with me. And luckily I didn't even listen to this song for most of my playthrough of this game, given that it's turned off by default and I didn't even know that this song was in the game until I started making this video. The gameplay of Marbly is very familiar to those who have played puzzle games before. Marbly is a match 3 puzzler, so what you have to do is you have to match 3 of a certain thing in order to clear it. And in Marbly, you have to line up 3 or more marbles in order to clear them. The goal is to clear the entire board, so that there are no marbles left. And what a player has to do is they have to tap a certain marble, and then a marble can only move in one of the omnidirections, so up, left, right, down, and diagonals. And then you have to tap the square that you want the marble to go to in order to try and clear a combination. And kind of the way the progression works within this game is players can clear puzzles normally, or they could try to get the best score. And how you do that is you have to clear like certain colors in succession, or I'm probably not wording this right, but for example, what you have to do is if you have a white, purple, and a green match, in order to get the best score, you clear the white first, then the green, then the purple, and then you go back to the white. And this will net you more points just matching them like this, rather than clearing multiple white combinations in successions. Marbly also enables the player to undo and restart puzzles for an unlimited amount of time, but only for the normal puzzles, not for challenges within the game. And the way that works is how challenges are kind of structured are you have certain types of challenges. For example, you have daily puzzles, scores that you have to achieve, certain moves that you have to clear a puzzle in, certain time limit, or they have like golden puzzles, which are really difficult puzzles you have to complete. And completing a challenge first try within the time limit can earn a player coins. And what coins can do is they can unlock more puzzle packs for the player, or more hints, more restarts, more undos, or even the ability to remove ads from the game, which was pretty cool. But you see, because this is a free game, this is where the microtransactions come in. You can buy coins for real money as well. So if you're stuck on a certain puzzle, you can buy more restarts and undos to help you throughout solving that puzzle. And these coins ultimately contributed to my playthrough stopping, because it can take a while to amass the certain amount of coins you need to unlock more puzzle packs throughout the game. So I thought instead of completing this game and it taking like 5 months, I'd just complete the very first 2 packs and call it a day. Going back to ads, they do appear in the game. They're kind of semi-random, but you can normally see a pattern. They normally appear when you clear a puzzle or if you exit a puzzle. They'll appear as soon as the title card opens for the first time as well, which I thought severely harmed the flow of the game, because the ad should play before the title card even appears, not when the title card appears, and then the ad just cuts you right off. But honestly, the most enjoyable part of this game for me was the ads that appeared, because there would be some pretty tonally inconsistent ads that wouldn't really fit with this type of game, which this type of game appeals more towards a wider audience. But there were ads that were actively supporting like gambling games, or even some gory or gun-based games. I just found it kinda odd. I don't know if the developer can help that at all, or if that's just entirely based on algorithms. It was still weird and laughable to see that within this kind of family puzzle game. So in terms of the difficulty of Marbly, some of the puzzles were a bit challenging for me. There were some that stumped me, but most were pretty easy. A lot of the time, as soon as you made your first clear, you can see other options start opening up, and then you could just clear them automatically. And I don't know if this was based off of my skill as a player and me playing puzzle games throughout my life, or that these games really weren't as difficult as they tried to let on to be. I did find the puzzles that came with the second pack in the game to be a little bit more difficult and fun to play, which is a shame because I gave up on the second pack. So anybody who has a little bit more patience, maybe you could play and get to the third pack and see if it gets more fun and difficult and clever as it moves on. But I don't really want to sit there and kind of farm coins. I'd rather just play a complete experience where everything is there. And it is worth pointing out that I did download the free version of Marbly. There's also a Marbly Deluxe. It costs like $9.99, and maybe that would have allowed me to play the game the way I wanted. But I just ultimately chose the free version anyway because I still got the general gist of what Marbly was about. So to conclude my very quick thoughts on Marbly, I found the game to be very average. Most of the problems I had with the game might just come from the aspect that this is a free game on an app store that does cater towards like middle-aged moms or like sharks that will just buy these coins. I'm not normally that type of player, so that didn't really appeal to me. So my final score for Marbly will be a 5 out of 10. Didn't love it, didn't hate it. So what do you think? Have you downloaded this? Did you play it? What'd you think? Agree, disagree? I don't care. You don't have to subscribe or comment or like or anything of the sort. All I ask is that if you have the time, please check out my social media links and portfolio in the description below. And with that out of the way, thank you very much for watching and have a nice day.